Hey everyone, Steve with Off Grid 48 here. It's a nice sunny day, Memorial Day weekend, up at the cabin, working on some projects. I thought I'd do a little video, give an update on our solar project that we started last year. So we'll go up there and kind of go through a walkthrough on that project. So the project we started last year, figured we needed to put in a formal solar array because we had been pretty much running off a generator and a mix match of solar panels to charge our batteries. So we figured it was time to put in a proper solar array. So what I came up with is this design here. It basically is a pedestal. It's about 4 feet off the ground because we can easily have 4 feet of snow up here in the winter. And I wanted something that was adjustable on the solar rack that could be adjusted to different times of the year, from spring, summer, fall, in the winter. So this is what we came up with. Basically it's a 10 by 15 pedestal. It's got 12 4x4 posts that are set in concrete. The bottom section is framed out in 2x6s, and basically it's a storage. It's a lumber storage area. And then the solar rack is a 2x4s with about 6 of these super strut rails to hold the solar panels. And it's on a hinge basis, so if we want to, we can change the angle of it to whatever we want. So the main focus last year was just getting it installed, hooked up, so it was going to power everything through the winter. So I didn't quite finish everything I wanted to do on the structure. So I got the panels in place, hooked up. I got the front doors on. I got some of it painted, so that you can see here from the side. I still got a little bit of work to do. I'm going to enclose the back here and put some doors there. So they'll have doors on the front, doors on the side. So the doors on the front, I can store up to a 10-piece length of lumber, and then doors on the side and here I can store, 12-foot pieces of lumber as well. So also, if you look at it, you can see right now it's set. We didn't get to set the angle last year. We basically got it completed just before winter set in. So it's at the lowest angle, which is around 20 degrees, which would be the summer. For spring and fall, it would be around 45 degrees, and then in winter, it would be over 60, 65 degrees. Then, so basically what I've got here is I've got 12 315 watt panels for a total of about 3.8 kilowatts. I've got them in 4 strings of 3, and then I've got it on a 4-string combiner box with a lightning protector. Everything's grounded, and then we dug a trench and we ran an electrical conduit up to the cabin here in the equipment room. It's about 100 feet run. And in the equipment room, I've got a Midnight Solar Classic 150, which does a pretty good job. So one of the things that we found through the winter was the height of the base is pretty good to keep it up out of the snow. But what I didn't really account for was the snow shed that would come off of the panels. And at this low angle like this, the snow built up on the panels and shed, and it shed so much that it accumulated more than 4 feet, and it actually started bridging up onto the panels. So one of the things that I've got to do here, I'm going to change the angle on this, and I think what I'm going to do is raise it up to just a fixed angle of 45 degrees. That's a good, for this latitude we're at, 48 degrees latitude. A 45 degree fixed angle is going to be good for year round, because what I found is the weight of that solar rack moving up and down is going to be very problematic. I didn't come up with a really efficient way of doing that until I came across these things they call wall jacks. And I'm going to use a wall jack to change the angle, but rather than move it three times a year, 4 times a year, I'm just going to set it and move it up to 45 degrees and support it and fix it there. and call it good. Because even at this angle at 20 degrees, what I found is that in the wintertime when I did get sun, I was getting more than enough power to keep my batteries charged. So that'll be a good year-round angle, and the 45 degrees will shed off more snow and hopefully not accumulate as much, so it won't be bridging from the ground. My cabin has a 12-pitch roof, so it's pretty steep, and snow doesn't accumulate up there. It slides off pretty good. So I think that's what we're going to do. Overall, I think the project was a pretty good success. I still got some work to do. I got to finish painting it, put a couple more doors on it, change the angle, but I think we're going to be good after that. All right, Steve out. All right, almost to the cabin. Stop and look at the solar array. You see how all the weight of that snow kind of bent the frame, so I'm going to have to deal with that in the spring and try to reinforce it. But overall, the array held up. Doesn't look like anything's broken. I'll come back here later, clean the snow off and see what I've got, but hopefully everything's good.